1 2 1 2
1 2 1 2
3 4
1 2 5 6
7 8
Hello, hello. Hello, hello. There you go. Yep.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Friday night football here at Larrakia Park, Darwin Football Stadium. It's men's Premier League action coming at you live on Facebook and YouTube. It is a blockbuster encounter tonight between University Azzurri FC and Hellenic Athletic Club. In what proving to be a colossal encounter, we had 3 meetings between these sides in season 2021, and the score was even. Both Azuri and Hellenic winning 1 game apiece, and a draw as well meant that spoils were shared last season. Of course, Hellenic were the 2021 Men's Premier League premiers after finishing the season on the top of the table. But it was University Azzurri who progressed the furthest in the final series. Of course, they were the runners-up in the big game last year, losing out to Mindelasis. Attention is solely and surely focused on this Friday night, and these sides come into the match in some good form. Of course, Hellenic playing their first competitive match of season 2022 last Saturday and were victorious in the Greek derby against Darwin Olympic, and University Azzurri had somewhat of a enjoyable night last week against Port Darwin, and they were heavy victors in that match as well. Both teams boasting goal scorers aplenty. Simon Bell, the man in focus tonight for the Blues, or should I say in the grey and black, their away strip for this evening. And over tonight with the Blues, the Azuri team, they have Safari Makuju, who's currently on 4 goals. He's leading all comers by 2 goals difference. He scored 4 goals already, and he's only played 2 games, so to be that number 2 out wide, the man of focus tonight, with plenty of service. His brother Christian Makuju, Nathaniel Paredes, Ethan Camero, Charles Matete. They've got certainly no shortage of players that can provide assists, but if this game is anything up to its reputation, there's going to be goals aplenty and some beautiful football certainly for the neutral to enjoy. Moments away from kickoff as well. Just under 30 degrees, as you can see on your screens, and we are set to go. Referee Nazir, look at his watch, resetting the clock, and away we go. Bell back to Carpathios. That's now Jesse Pinto, a man returning into the starting 11 after a absence. He was interstate, and now he's back with us for a period of time. A former A-League player, he is Pinto. That's Turner, the captain. Back to goalkeeper McAdam. Rolls it back out to Carpathios, a man who produced a scintillating performance last week, the metronome in midfield for his side. That's McAdam going back across to Ajeke. Again, Carpathios finding a fair few touches in this opening 30 seconds or so. It's back that way, channeling through Carpathios. He goes wide to Roberto now. It's Turner. That's Stefanidakis, another cool customer, and showed his silky skills there. Simon Bell, strong and authoritative striker he is. Will certainly parry any man off the ball. Alex Turner is holding the ball up slightly and is not afraid to play a cross goal, which he does this time. Ajeke, Prifty, gone to Stefanidakis. He tried to go wide, cut out by Said momentarily. It's back with Prifty. He can take the ball forward, but Stefanidakis is there. Pinto, that's McNabb. Goal scorer and assist last week. What can he do now on the ball? McNabb cuts back inside, away from a few Azuri players, and finds Vrontos, the attacking right back. Tried to go early for Prifty. It'll eventually find its way there. Referee says play on. That's Said. He goes out to Makuju. Christian Makuju against Vrontos. That's going to be a scintillating battle tonight to see, that's for sure. He goes wide to Prifty. The number 7 trying to get past Makuju. The 2 7s do battle, and it's the Hellenic number 7 who wins that one in a throw-in forward right half flank and that is going to be a throw-in for Hellenic. Rontos not opting to take this one. It'll be McNabb that'll come across. Of course, Stylianos Rontos can certainly launch a throw almost as like a corner. I'm sure we're going to see one of those tonight. It's not going to be their first. Instead, we won't see it at all. That's because it's a corner kick and McNabb is on it. McNabb going in for the delivery, spinning away from goal, looked for Rontos. Alex Turner will get to the ball there, back post, and try and take on Moses Mukuju. Does, and now it's Turner, good cross into the box, it's Bell. Rising Wells, Simon Bell, and not quite the contact he would have liked on the header to direct it past Minucci's goal. It's a good ball by Turner, and Simon Bell just slightly offline, slightly off balance, and that could attribute to the inaccuracy of that header. Raditis in the meantime, launching long, looking for Safari Mukuju. It's Peter Raditis, and almost Safari got the better of Ajeke, but the experienced centre-back using his talents to good measure there. Rontos to Prifty. Dispossessed there by Mukuju. Now it's Christian Mukuju. Heavy touch lets the winger down, and Alex Turner will mop that up for Hellenic and just clear that forward. Relieve his team of some pressure and earn Azzurri a throw in there. And Atif Saeed will just let that go for Moses Mukuju to take. And a foul throw, unfortunately, lifting his foot as he dispossessed of the ball. So it's a Hellenic throw, and Rontos throws long. Raditis heads up, and a wayward header. Now it's Camero on the ball, a man who possesses bountiful skill. Of course, scoring in his team's unfortunate exit of the Australia Cup. He opened the scoring that night with a beautifully taken goal, and he'll be a key player tonight if Azuri are to get anything from this match, that's for sure. They've won a free kick and an opportunity to go forward, and they were a good tackle. It was an unfortunate tackle there from Pinto and forced the referee to blow up and allow Azuri just an opportunity to put the ball into the box. And Raditis tried and unfortunately caught the ball too far under, and the trajectory was out, and so it will be a goal kick for Hellenic. And McAdam will just skip over to gather that one. Of course, we are coming at you live across Facebook and YouTube. FNT TV live streaming of this Men's Premier League Round 3 encounter. 5.5 minutes played and still all square on the North Crest scoreboard. Pinto looking to release Rontos. He timed his run well, trying to keep the ball in play. Good competing by Rontos. He eventually heads it out wide for Prifty. He kept the ball in, and to the advantage of Saeed. He goes, and Roberto cuts that one out, looking to springboard his team. He's got Bell there, and Bell trying to weave his way away from Saeed. Instead, it'll be with now Jesse Pinto going further wide to Prifty. Timed his run well, trying to come back into the box, and two Azuri players to the one Hellenic player should be able to clear, and does. It's Moses Mukuju looking for Camero, and Carpathios was put to ground, so that will be a Hellenic free kick. And they have no shortage of defensive options when having a set piece. You've got Ajeke and Alex Turner. Both of those men mentioned have snuck their way into the box as well. Aerial threats from any dead ball, and we'll see if they can be found on this one. McNabb, of course, knows how to deliver a ball, and we'll see what the number 23 can do. And Seds leaves it. It's Roberto looking for a fancy set piece there. Roberto again, and it's going to Carpathios, is dispossessed by Safari Mukuju. Makuju trying to get away from the midfielder early, and good tussle between Makuju and Roberto. It's still with Hellenic though. Bell almost played through onto a loose ball there, and forced to clear was Adil Saeed, and so the attack remains with Hellenic. Good physical challenges early, both teams showing their intent, neither wanting to surrender possession without a fight. Throw-in comes, McNabb controls, looking to play a skillful touch away from the defence, and denied that time. Safari Makuju, strength and speed on this man is going to be key for them tonight. And throw-in won by Azzurri. And Saeed will march forward to assume duties on this throw-in, where it's a free kick blown up, and Raditas plays it quickly to Matete. He goes to Saeed, heavy touch lets him down, and so it eventually will be a throw, and it's in the form of a Hellenic throw. McNabb tries to go quick, it's got Pinto. Carpathios is alert to that, to receive, backtracks to Ajeke, good touch to bring that under control. And unfortunately his ball was heavy, but Stefanidakis judged it well, and so did Saeed. Very well done from the young defender to take it away from Prifty. Pablo looks to go wide, and his ball is just slightly heavy, and that'll go out of play. Some wayward possession from Azzurri early on here, inviting unwanted possession for Hellenic, and there goes a long Vrontos throw as mentioned, and Saeed forced to clear. It comes across the box, and McNabb's there, thought about going for that. Roberto instead will play it to Pinto, and Pinto trying to go crossfield. He's got Prifty there in space, but it'll ultimately bring that attack to an end is the offside flag. And nearly found Prifty in good space there, but was just slightly offside. Ball coming slightly late. Saeed goes forward, challenging his Paredes, and high foot, unfortunately, against Paredes, and I think will be forced back to take this free kick. Ajeke, Pinto. They look to go early and release Sabredo. Eventually it does find its way out there, and he looks to put it in on his left, and rising was McNabb, got there was Saeed. Matete clears forward, now it's Paredes. Paredes looking to release a teammate, and unfortunately Safari wasn't quite as forward as intended, and then Hellenic can rebound quickly. They had the option. Roberto now being pressured by Safari Makuju, and he'll win it off the Hellenic player. Remain possession with the Azuri man. And thrown in now, looking for Camero, finds him, heads it back to Saeed. Ajeke rises and competes with Paredes, and now Paredes is chasing Ajeke. Now it's Prifty going back to his defensive partner, and Ajeke is on it again, and he looks to release Prifty here. He can take a touch and accelerate away, but not as far as Saeed is concerned. That's a brilliant tackle from the defender to nullify that attack before it caught any fire. And Vrontos will skip across and supposedly put in another trademark long throw. There it goes, all the way into the box. Bell trying to get a foot to that. Stefanidakis, and tried for precision and nearly found a side of goal that might have forced Minucci into a save, but not that time. And needed to take the shot quickly. There were a few Azuri players providing pressure for Stefanidakis, and nonetheless, the number 8 got a shot off. Paredes, Saeed, good judge there by Roberto. Makuju was away. There, nice skill shown by Alex Turner. Captain Fantastic plays it out to Roberto. Good cross into the box, and McNabb simply took the ball with advantage there and tried to caress it into the goal, but unfortunately that didn't quite work for the number 23. He's already opened his account for season 2022, of course, with goal from a free kick last week. Said plays forward. Camero and Carpathios, good challenge there. Play on, says the referee. Stefanidakis coming through the channels and getting away from Pablo. Ball comes back in. Radidas clears. For the moment, it's now Christian Makuju. Looks to go wide and release Safari Makuju. Here he comes here. Safari Makuju, the number 2, still with him, and he scores! University Azzurri hit the front, and it's that man once again. Safari Makuju with his 5th goal of the season. Fantastic ball from Christian Makuju, his brother, to release the forward in some space, and he obliges. University Azzurri hit the front, and it's that pace once again from Safari Makuju that opens the game, and he will certainly, and is thus far proving to be a thorn in many sides so far. And 1-0 on Northcrest scoreboard. Pinto back to Roberto. Of course, Hellenic know how to come back from a deficit. They've shown it many a time. And free kick earned by Prifty that time as well. Can they force the urgency here? Prifty goes wide, looking for Roberto. Takes a good touch and looks to play it first time on his left. Rising is Prifty, and Bell, and may or may not have drifted into an offside position, but nonetheless, the ball did not find its way to Minucci's goal. That was wide, and the outright was hit. Short ball. Said now to Camero. Again, Said, good experience to get there ahead of the attackers. There goes Paredes, and that's Christian Makuju on a run. The number 7 can enter the box here. He does so. Unfortunately, his second or third touch just took it back into the path of Rontos. Moses Makuju coming across to Paredes. Well done by Paredes. And tried to get the shot off away very quickly there, and forced under a little bit of pressure, and that ultimately meant his shot went wide. But certainly University Azzurri have come to the table with their attempts on target, a couple already, and they've started this game in electric form. And they certainly have the defensive structure to keep Hellenic out, but we'll see for how long. Paredes looking to release Safari Makuju again. It's a clever touch from McNabb. To Turner, now it's McAdam. Time on the ball, McAdam to find an option. Goes Carpathios, and he releases it back to his goalkeeper. Eventually finds a Jeke. Will he look to springboard an attack? He will go to no one. Azuri, now it's Matete. Camero tried to go first time. It's still Camero, and that's a free kick and also a caution. It's a yellow card for Carpathios, and early yellow card for the midfielder is not ideal when you still have just under 75 minutes or so of football to play, and he'll definitely be in the thick of it for the majority of that. And that's forced another set piece for Hellenic to defend. It's Christian Makuju over it. It's looking to shape up to this. It's Christian Makuju, and playing in a ball for Radidas. It's found its way through there, and Matete, in comes Stefanidakis, just left it behind. Ajeke going forward. He's got McNabb in some space here. Matthew McNabb all the way back and eventually earned a free kick. So, or else that ball was going to be given away. Quick touch taken, and play on resumes. It's come across to Alexander Turner. Trying to find a teammate through here. He's got one wide. That's Stylianos Frontos. Bell back to Frontos. Trying to play Prifty through, and if he had gotten a touch onto that, the offside flag would have denied him. Getting into good forward positions are Hellenic. They just need to make sure they're timed perfectly. Goes wide, Radidas. Saeed, now it's Matete competing with Pinto. It's Pinto that wins that battle. McNabb cut out by Radidas. It's Stefanidakis going wide to Bell, looking to load up and shoot. And that's a great save by Minucci, and Bell unfortunately couldn't keep that ball in, and that goes out for a goal kick. His first exam tonight, Minucci, and he passed with flying colours there. It was a great shot by Bell, a lot of force driven behind it, and Minucci repels. Now it comes wide again to Safari Makuju. Unfortunately just forced off the ball there that time. Carpathios will need to run and chase for this one. He'll get there ahead of Camero. Carpathios plays it back to Pinto, and Pinto has McNabb. McNabb, delicate ball there to release his number 5, and Pereditas goes to ground and went to ground very well. That was a forward-driven ball that was looking for Prifty, and at the expense of a corner will deny what would have probably been a certain shot on goal. And early on, again, almost 20 minutes played on the Northcrest scoreboard. It's that 1-goal lead to University Azzurri. Safari Makuju putting the Azzurri in front, and it's been fairly even since as well. McNabb going in short. He has Prifty there, and Prifty comes across, and Saeed clears. Carpathios with Makuju there. Ends up back with Carpathios. Now it's Stefanidakis looking to go back stick here, and he has Roberto there, and he'll look to play a cross in. He's got Bell there, and he gets ahead onto it, but not much of that accuracy as we're renowned from Simon Bell. A lot of power, but could be as hard as you like if it's always going wide. And of course, we have many thanks tonight, and that's the Northern Territory Government for supporting football across the NT, as well as McDonald's of their gratuitous support in all regions across the Northern Territory. Ajeke misses that ball out, and luckily enough, he has experienced defenders there to deal with it. Makuju putting McAdam under pressure, and ultimately hoofing it wide was McAdam. So possession will remain with Azzurri. In much respects, a lot of people thought they were going to be a surprise package in season 2022, and their head coach Michael Radidas is very pleased with the personnel down at the club this year. Footballers, as he calls them, intelligent players that he has now molded into a system, and exciting signs for the club going forward, that's for sure. Frontos rises to that, one of those talents. Camero trying to get there ahead of McNabb. It's the experience that wins that battle. Pinto as well looking to go forward. Now it's Stefanidakis ripping a shot, and saving it was Minucci, of course. Stefanidakis, one of those players that donned an Azzurri shirt in season 2021. He had a fantastic year in the centre of the park, and one of the reasons as he was scouted by Hellenic to come back, of course, is his family club. Family ties run deep, especially in the territory football game. Roberto throwing in, going to Carpathios. Pinto. Now look pass back to Roberto. Now it's Carpathios again. They're trying to play around with the ball here, and they'll lose it to Azzurri. It's Safari Makuju now again. In goes Safari, having a shot from distance, and about to be tackled. Someone thought he would get rid of the ball in the form of a shot, and not much threat on McAdam's goal, but this game is certainly going to be one of those that will keep you on the edge of your seat, because for all the domination that Hellenic might have with the ball, all it takes is an opportunity for Azuri, and the pace that they have, they can be very clinical and very deadly. Frontos going to Prifty. Saeed cuts out well. Now it's Christian Makuju. Still Christian Makuju. Keeps the ball back in and looks to get away from Prifty, and Prifty does well to maintain the ball. Good skill there shown. Now it's Simon Bell, cuts back inside. Christian Makuju's there. And Makuju looking to continue the attack, but Hellenic get onto the ball, and Pinto looks to play through Matthew McNabb. Advantage called by the referee, and Pablo just gets there and shepherds the ball, or escorts the ball back out behind his goal and force a corner for Hellenic. Certainly been one of those matches thus far where you blink and you miss 22 minutes, because we're approaching the 22.5-minute mark on the Northcrest scoreboard. Still just the one goal that separates the two teams, and Hellenic looking to reply. Good ball in. Bell puts a flick on, and Charles Matete at the front post to see that ball back out. Take two for the Blues now. McNabb to Pinto, lining up a shot here. Pinto faking it, going still in, and looking to keep the ball here is Hellenic. Play on, says the referee. Now it's Safari Makuju. It's Safari against Vrontos. What can he do on this occasion? Safari Makuju plays Camiro in the middle. Camiro again on the ball and ultimately dispossessed. Pinto now, the opposite number 10. Can he muster something better for the Blues? It's Stefanidakis here, plays it back to Pinto, looks to go wide to McNabb. He'll take a touch and come back inside, and he does. Matthew McNabb, good touch to go back outside, and Pinto, unfortunately, not with the pace to get onto that one. Instead, he'll have to settle for a throw-in. Jesse Pinto throwing in and looking to springboard across here. It's McNabb in some space, having a shot, and that goes very high. We're forced to grab another ball. Still on its way down, that ball, and instead we'll get a new one for Minucci to take this goal kick. Very composed, this young Azzurri team. They've done well for themselves so far. Christian Makuju being chased by Prifty, and still Christian Makuju forced off the ball ultimately by Ajeke. Pinto quickly to Stefanidakis, looking to play Bell. Saeed gets there. It's back with Hellenic though, back out to Matthew McNabb. Goes middle, looking for Bell, just didn't quite have the legs to get onto the end of that one. Good weight on it and good position. Just a foot taller and possibly might have gotten there. Scores a lot of goals, Simon Bell, and give him an opportunity with a ball at his feet, and very often that ends up in the back of a goalkeeper's net. So he's definitely a danger man for Azuri to watch. Headed back in field by Paredes. No one there, so Carpathios comes out with it to Pinto, looking to launch an attack. Prifty again, just almost getting onto the end of that. He does, and the opportunity's there. So the intentions are right by Hellenic. Their execution's just not where it should be. Minucci launches a ball into a dangerous spot, and Ajeke needed to be up to that, and he certainly was. Injury Prifty now. Playing in a cross, back stick, looking for McNabb, gets the pace onto it. And marshalled out of play by Saeed. Throw in for Azuri. And he needs some options here. We'll go to Camiro, loses out to McNabb. Radidas clears forward. Camiro further forward. Roberto, and it is a free kick, I believe, signalled for University Azuri, so the ball will come back for a free kick. Ward Keller, they are your personal and business dispute resolution experts. You can reach them on 1-800-978-360. That's 1-800-978-360. It's the captain for Azuri, the number 17, playing it to Camiro. Wide to Saeed. Good ball forward for Christian Makuju. Heavy touch though by the winger, just means possession is surrendered, and Frontos will back his way to goal. And eventually go all the way back to his goalkeeper in Kane McAdam. To his captain, Alex Turner. Plenty of time on the ball. One of those players that just simply creates time. Couldn't find a pass though. It's giving it away to the Azzurri captain, Raditis. Across to Saeed. Takes a touch and moves forward, but gives the ball away. It's Prifty now. Can another attack be launched here by Hellenic? It's still Prifty. Can have a shot here, and does eventually. Blocked out. Nullified a lot of the venom in that strike and allowed Minucci to gather, and he throws quickly. Saeed can launch an attack here. Paredes gets a touch onto it as well. Allows Saeed another opportunity. It's Matete. Advantage for Azuri here. Still Matete. And he goes back to Camero. Look to go forward early, Camero. Turner was there for Hellenic. And caught by Safari Makuju. Fair challenge there, as noticed eventually. Stefanidakis, good cut out there. Saeed can go forward for Azuri here. He's brought to ground. It's with Paredes here. Nathaniel Paredes having a shot. And that's handball against Alexander Turner. Yellow card as well for the Hellenic captain. Carpathios and Turner now shown cautions in the first half of this match. And it's a very dangerous position on a set piece here. And who else but Peter Raditis, the captain, to come straight forward for this one. Darwin football are no strangers to a Raditis set piece, whether it be a penalty or free kick. His technique is very much up there with some of the best in the top end of Australia. Of course, that's where we're coming live at you from. Larrakia Park, also known as the Darwin Football Stadium. And it's round 3 action of the Men's Premier League. Approaching the 30th minute on the Northcrest scoreboard. 1 goal-0 and a golden opportunity to make that 2. Raditis, the sole man left in this set piece equation. And will he provide an Azuri solution? Raditis over it now. In comes Raditis with a strike, and that's wide of McAdams' goal. Had certainly the power required, just was bending away from the Hellenic goalkeeper's defended side. He was there nonetheless, but it had some good venom on it. McNabb touches it back to Pinto, and Pinto looked to release a ball early. It will be challenged by Raditis, and he wins that one. Minucci short to Saeed. Minucci receives it eventually and goes forward. Ends up with Carpathios. Pinto to Roberto on the ball and can proceed forward here. Time for Prifty, looking to get across to Bell, and launching that very high is Simon Bell. Perhaps just caught him unawares there. He certainly lined it up well, and the trajectory of that ball was nowhere but up in the air. That's exactly where Minucci would like it all night long. Far from his goal. Saeed touches and proceeds forward. Can it eventually go through? Good fake there by Paredes, and eventually just marshaled out of play there well by the Hellenic defense. It will be now Azuri to continue this attacking move. Camero throws, Paredes receives. Paredes impeded, but the referee yells play on. Prifty here, can't get away from Saeed. Paredes ultimately forced to ground, and it will be an Azuri free kick. Camero places quickly, looking to get us back underway, but we left eventually for Atif Saeed, and he wants to play a long ball. And exactly what he does. Makuju trying to get a challenge on there. Matete short. Still Matete against Stefanidakis. The midfielder will try and win this back from Pinto. And Pinto surrenders possession, and it will be an Azzurri throw. Thrown early, Said. Now it's again forward to Paredes, looking to launch a ball across for Makuju, and needed to be cleared in an instant, and it was. First time clearance from the Hellenic defence. You can't allow the time for Safari Makuju to pounce, because it's been shown and proven so far on 5 occasions this season that he can punish you with just a simple opportunity. And so a corner kick. Could this prove to be another setback for Hellenic? Be a delivery via Ethan Camero. Reditas is forward. In goes Camero. Slight weight on this, and McAdam rose and punched away. So it will be another corner kick, this time from the other side of the field. Of course, you can join a club and play football today. In the action you're seeing, you can become a part of it as well. Head to footballnt.com.au/clubs to find your nearest soccer club. Join the action, be part of it today. Camero now. Good delivery from the midfielder. Prime spot there. Said will come up against McNabb, and Said wins. Looking to take it past Stefanidakis. Matete looking to play across in for Makuju. Safari Makuju's their back post as well, and good defending from Hellenic there. Certainly keeping Azzurri out for now. It is a corner kick. Carpathios ordering teammates to get back and defend this. Be another opportunity now for Azuri to add some more scoreboard pressure. Camero once more. Good ball again. Prime opportunity, prime spot, and it's gone straight in. It's a second goal for University Azuri, and I believe that's Charles Matete who has scored. A good assist from Camero, and I believe that it is in off Charles Matete. Has found the second goal for University Azuri, and I mentioned it was a golden opportunity to add further scoreboard pressure, and that's exactly what the side wearing the blue uniform tonight has done against the Blues. Less than 10 minutes of regulation time to go in this first half, and now Hellenic are staring themselves down the barrel of a 2-0 deficit. Plenty of time, of course, and Ajeke understands that. Playing a ball through for Rontos and trying to get away from Minucci, but Minucci does well. Stands up to that confidently and forces that out of play. Rontos on it. Prifty. Stefanidakis looking back post for McNabb. And wide from the winger. Frustrations possibly pouring and filling the minds of the Hellenic players. Azuri won't matter though. They'll keep going and they want more. Reditas goes forward. Paredes, good touchdown by the attacking midfielder. Camero looking to thread a ball through, and now it's Safari Makuju. Safari Makuju with another one. And that's fantastically done. Ethan Camero with another assist. And guess who? Safari Makuju. He adds his second for the night. And Hellenic 3 goals behind. This is certainly an exciting performance thus far from the Azzurri. Haven't even reached half-time yet, and they are 3 goals to the good. A monstrous task now for Hellenic. Pinto getting forward to Bell. Still Jesse Pinto looking to go wide for Matthew McNabb. Needs to finish here, and it's saved by Minucci. Fantastic save from the youngster in goals to deny Matthew McNabb his second for the season. And the crowd certainly receptive to that save. Again, it's Azuri now. Zafari Makuju barreling down. He's got Turner in front of him. What will Safari do? Instead, he'll look to thread a pass through for Paredes, but it's cut out. Needed to be. Roberto over to Carpathios. He goes to Simon Bell. Takes a touch and brings it back to the midfielder. And number 6, still with some time on the ball. And trying to go back, it's now Safari Makuju. Still Safari Makuju threading a ball through for Metete, and it is a offside flag. And here's a foul for an offside, so it will be a Hellenic free kick. And Metete, unfortunately, making contact with Turner on the way through, so some medical attention required for Alexander Turner. It was a late touch and a late play on the defender, so it will nonetheless still be with Hellenic via this offside. And the medical team just getting onto the pitch just to ensure Alexander Turner's welfare, that he is okay. He would be another blow for Hellenic to lose him. And as we approach the last 5 minutes of regulation, another one of our principal partners, Northcrest, you can visit their House and Land Display Centre, Reuben Avenue in Berrima. Just like we've seen some beautiful football from Azuri, they certainly have very much no shortage of beautiful display homes for you to check out. Open 7 days a week, of course, and Alexander Turner looks okay to continue. And certainly some of the momentum for Azuri has just been deflated a little bit, but they have a 3-0 advantage on the Northcrest scoreboard. And Turner stays down on the far side, and so play will continue, of course, but we'll see what's done exactly in the moments to follow. Hellenic over the ball to restart. And the referee will do just that. Whistlers to continue. Roberto across to Carpathios. Carpathios now wide to Jesse Pinto. Pinto forward looking for Vrontos, looking to release the quick right wing back. In comes Vrontos, good touch into the box, and look to play his team in on another opportunity, but it's nullified as quickly as it begun. And so it will be a corner kick to the Blues. Still a man down without their captain. And he would have been another player that would have added a attacking element to any corner. But they'll have to do this one without him. In comes the ball, looking for contact there. And instead, it'll be handball against Hellenic. And looking to get quickly underway, Azuri, but the referee unfortunately won't allow them this time to take advantage of their number advantage at the moment. And so it'll be Azzurri now getting us back underway. Saeed looking to go forward for Christian Makuju. Vrontos taking that down well. And look to get ahead of his teammate, and he comes off the Azzurri player, Moses Makuju, and out for a throw. Vrontos loads, and in goes Bell, playing it back post for McNabb, and shot astray and out for a corner. Received a touch off an Azzurri player, I believe, as it went through. That's certainly what's been signalled here by Nazir, the referee. This would be a perfect time to strike back for Hellenic coach Dimi Galanopoulos. He would love a goal back here. Rises is Ajeke, and back post is Prifty. There it is, the answer that I was talking about. A goal back before the break for Hellenic might just inspire the team to come back into the game. And it was Prifty, I believe, who ultimately forced the ball into the back of the net. And that's 3-1 now on the North Crest scoreboard. Alex Turner rejoining us as well. Glad to see he's good to continue. Paredes now back across to Saeed. Matete back to Saeed. Now good ball forward, trying to find Christian Makuju. Vrontos is there, heads up into the air. Paredes, good strong body to keep his defender off the ball. Ethan Camiro back the other way. Still with Ethan Camiro. Christian Makuju dispossessed by Pinto and Ajeke. Good interception there. It's Safari Makuju. And that's all ball, says the referee. Play on, says the central referee. A good tackle there from the Hellenic defender. Carpathios now the other way. They need to be quick here. Not much additional time. It's Matthew McNabb. Still on the ball is Matthew McNabb, and puts it away. And now we have a game on our hands. Hellenic cut into the 3-goal deficit. They're only behind by 1 now. Great assist by George Carpathios. And Matthew McNabb finishing a beautifully worked attack for Hellenic. The winger's 2nd goal of the season sees now the Blues only behind by 1. And is that all she wrote for the first half? We still continue. And now I'm sure Galanopoulos' halftime team talk will be very different. A little frustrating for stand-in coach Theodorakopoulos on the Azzurri side, but they've certainly still shown their presence going forward. And a foul against Azzurri, and it will be a Hellenic ball to close out what you would think this first half. And strong tackle by Safari Makuju on Ajeke just earned a free kick for the Hellenic player. And that brings us to half-time in this round 3, match 1 Premier League game. It was University Azzurri who stormed out to a 3-goal lead in this match, and 2 goals in a matter of minutes have seen Hellenic nearly draw parity. They'll go into the halftime break just a goal behind. We'll take a short break and rejoin you for what will be another 45 minutes of scintillating football. Strap in your seats, have a quick break, and we'll see you soon. Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and I hope you've had a opportunity to catch your breath for what a first half of football we've had. University Azzurri at the moment lead at 3-2, and it's been no shy of attacking excellence from both sides. And as we await the second half of play, it's Azuri with that 1-goal slim advantage. And we're back with it now. That's Gabriel Pablo going back to Said. Minucci, a man who's made a number of massive saves in the first half. He'll need to keep that same performance up in the second to ensure his team can continue their advantage. In comes now Safari Makuju, a man who's found the back of the net twice already against Vrontos, and Vrontos wins that time. Matthew McNabb going forward to Bell. Bell's ball's cut out, and eventually Carpathios will get there to sweep up for Hellenic. Pinto, Simon Bell, back to Carpathios. Now it's Stefanidakis, and good challenge by Pablo. Good ball equally by McNabb. Peter Adidas, the captain for Azuri, gets there. He'll play it to Adil Said. Ethan Camero back to his captain, Peter Adidas. Taking a few touches out of defense and looking to play a ball for Safari Makuju, and he gets there. Gets past Turner, but not past Ajeke. And a couple of early touches by Safari Makuju in the second half, looking to recapture his first half form. Of course, he found the back of the net twice. That needs no repeating. Carpathios. Back to Kane McAdam. What can the goalkeeper do now? He'll take a few touches and come out of defense via Alex Turner. Tega Ajeke to Andre Prifty, a man who's inspired the Blues with his first goal to make a comeback, and drifting into a slightly offside position, and that'll be escorted all the way out of play by Joshua Minucci for a goal kick. A youngster who came through their junior ranks, of course, last season, playing some great football, earned an opportunity and made his sole appearance in 2021 against Hellenic. And now he has assumed duties thus far for the men's Premier League team. Minucci quickly, it was being forced under a little bit of pressure there from Simon Bell, so he obliged to clear early. And he's certainly shown well here for himself in this first half. Ability out of his age bracket at the moment, that's for sure. Roberto coming in for on his left foot. That's Jesse Pinto being challenged well by Makuju. Matete keeps the ball and can start an Azuri attack. Wayward ball slightly. Ajeke will need to mop that up, and he'll play it back to McAdam. McAdam going wide to Vrontos. Good touchdown by the defender, who's now switched sides, putting a little bit under pressure by Safari Makuju. Finds its way to Matthew McNabb, just urging his team to remain calm. Comes the other way now, and the ball will eventually find its way back to Matthew McNabb against Said here. And it's a good battle between the two. Stefanidakis. Roberto now comes to Prifty. Dispossessed well. And Christian Makuju. Good fake there. Eventually dispossessed, and it'll be a foul against the Azuri man. Hellenic free kick. And forcible challenge there put on the number 7, just trying to win the ball back. very aggressively. In comes Prifty, and unfortunately it was a wayward delivery. Sorry by the number 5, Roberto. Just finding its way out into touch, and Joshua Manucci will gather for a goal kick. Play just approaching 5 minutes of this second half. And started as the first did. Teams in showing some great attacking ability as well as possession in the middle of the park. And here comes Safari Makuju. Takes the touch away from Alexander Turner, the number 2 for Azzurri. And good touch off by Alexander Turner, which extinguishes that Azzurri attack. It's with Paredes though. Nathaniel Paredes trying to weave away, and it's Nathaniel Paredes placing a shot slightly wide, and it was forced wide by McAdam. Simply architecting his way through the Hellenic defense, and McAdam needed to come to his team's defense there. Almost cut through those defenders like butter and forcing the shot away. So University Azzurri still on the attack, and impetus to drive home another. Of course, it was Matete that steered a header in the first half. Camiro's delivery, in he comes, slightly low. Pinto heads away, and it'll come back via the form of a throw. Adil Saeed will come forward to take the throw. Throws back to his brother Atif. Trying to go to Pablo, and almost Simon Bell releasing Prifty on another attack. Stefanidakis touches back inside. Carpathios goes to Simon Bell. Almost taken away by Camiro and Pinto. Bell, still Simon Bell looking to keep that in and play McNabb. Saeed still, and a great challenge by the defender, who spins away from McNabb to keep that inside. Camiro, Pablo, it's Stefanidakis. Play on for Hellenic, and no advantage there, unfortunately, for Hellenic, and it will be a free kick to the away side. And Pinto looking to put a ball into the box, force an opportunity perhaps for his team. Jacke moves forward to offer a target. In comes Jesse Pinto. Curling ball into the box, comes back stick, and forced away for a corner kick. Now would be the invitation for Alex Turner to join the attack. The big central defender will come forward to provide another option for Hellenic to find. No stranger to an aerial goal, Alexander Turner. As is Ajeke, as is Bell. Plenty of targets there now for him to hit. On comes the ball, Prifty looking to hit it on. Makuju momentarily clears. Stefanidakis lining up for a shot. Comes through the first line of defense. Carpathios. Now it's Nathaniel Paredes. He can play a ball simply out in front for Makuju. McAdams there camped under it, and he'll clear it forward. On his left, gathers some momentum. Paredes ahead of Carpathios. And now it's Safari Makuju on the ball, winning time and allowing Paredes to come forward. Looked for Camiro. Stefanidakis clears. Pablo and Saeed. Saeed trying to get ahead there of McNabb. Play on, says the referee. Nice touch from Moses Makuju. But now Stefanidakis finds 50 in space. Comes back inboard for Pinto. Touched by Pinto and looking to find Matty McNabb. Impeded again, and very well done by Saeed. Nullified McNabb, but gives the ball away to Pinto. Camiro and Pinto do battle, the two number 10s. Jostling for possession. Forcing Pinto back to Alexander Turner. Tega Ajeke. Big centre half taking touches to precede his team forward. Now it's Hellenic now with an invitation to move forward. McNabb against Said, wins it that time. McNabb, and that's a great finish from Matthew McNabb. Equalizes for the Blues. And that's a well-taken shot. And a well-assisted ball from Roberto Sickles, and that is a great, great finish from Matthew McNabb. Almost lost for words there to describe that finish. It was taken with a great deal of composure and skill, and it has led his team back to level terms. With about 5 or 6 minutes to go in the first half, Azzurri, we must not forget, had a 3-goal advantage. And that's been cleanly slated. Hellenic 3, University Azzurri 3. And the North Crest scoreboard reads parity. Azzurri, though, on an attack. Safari Makuju looking for a teammate and proceeding forward. Can release himself forward against Ajeke. Still it's Safari Makuju. Now it's Ethan Camero looking for Christian Makuju out wide here, and he's found it wide and high. Christian Makuju could not, unfortunately, tuck the ball away, and it was a great ball by Camero to find Makuju, and went for power rather than precision, and that ball goes far and wide from McAdams' goal. Pinto forward. Not much intention on that pass. And Azzurri go all the way back to Minucci. Minucci goes forward. Carpathios lets it bounce. Paredes gets there. Looking to release an attack early. Instead, it's come back to the goal scorer, Matthew McNabb. Back to Carpathios. Pinto now. Back to George Carpathios. And a bit of a challenge there on Roberto, and that's picked up well by the referee. It's a matter of which team blinks first now. Scores are level. Azzurri will feel a little bit frustrated with themselves, allowing a 3-goal lead to dissipate. They've done well there, Hellenic, for it. They've certainly shown their attacking prowess and their capability to certainly score via multiple channels. McNabb with 2 very exquisitely finished goals. Pinto now asking a lot for his teammates there, and Bell was the closest but forced out of a challenge there. Minucci gathers unimpeded. Paredes back to Said. Pablo, delicate touch for Charles Matete, and looks to get away from Stefanidakis, but Stefanidakis tried to stop Matete in his tracks. And unfortunately, will come back for an Azzurri free kick. They were not allowed to continue play, so the free kick will come back here for the original foul. Peter Adidas, the captain, launching his team forward once more, looking for Safari Makuju. It's allowed to bounce into the advantage of Safari. In comes Safari Makuju, still Safari, and eventually McAdams saves again. His team certainly reeling from the attacks of Safari Makuju, and eventually getting the shot away. And as McAdam was going to ground, enough was done to force that behind and for a corner. Will it be a quick routine, and Camero decides against. It will be another delivery by Ethan Camero. Lowly driven, out cleared straight away by Hellenic. Camero versus Pinto. Camiro gets there and tries to win the ball, and Pinto gives away a free kick. It'll be another set piece and a card shown for Jesse Pinto. Former Newcastle Jet. Was a part of the triumphant Hellenic side to win the 2018 decider. And we've been unfortunate not to have him in the league for a couple of seasons due to work commitments and such, but he's back now applying his trade into the top end of Australia, and his return match tonight has been well received. Camiro with a delivery, coming back post. A few players go down under the ball. No fouls or no decisions to go against Hellenic or Azzurri in that tussle. McAdam tries to go quick. Pinto releases it back to Rontos, and Carpathios now goes to Stefanidakis. Ajeke was screaming for the ball, eventually finds its way to the centre half. Rontos now that ball and plays it outfield. Forward now for Azuri, and immediately looking for Christian Makuju. Ball not quite accurate enough to find its way down. Pinto, McNabb. Matthew McNabb, central for Carpathios. Pinto to McNabb. Time for McNabb to operate here and go wide, and he does to Rontos. Takes it down and looks to speed away from Makuju, and a long wayward ball looking for Bell, but Minucci just gets there and calmly takes that under possession and throws it short to Saeed. Playing out from the back of Azzurri, allowing themselves to keep possession and build their play under their terms. Radidas nearly losing the ball there, and ultimately does. And so Hellenic now on an attack. Keelan Scott will come across to take the throw, and we'll see what the substitute can offer from this position. Throws to Bell, back to Scott. Good cross now from Keelan Scott, nearly finding Prifty at the edge of the box here. He's got him. Back to Pinto, releases, has a shot, and Bell's wide. No offside flag against the forward, and Simon Bell with time to tuck that ball away off the save has missed. And now it's another sub for Hellenic. It's the live wire. It's the man with a lot of pace to burn, and it's Paraskos Coombe who's coming on to replace Simon Bell. And that's the end of the night for Simon Bell. And it's University Azzurri as well making a sub. That is number 15, Jake Smith. And he's coming on the field to replace Ethan Camero. Advancing straight forward is Jake Smith into an attacking position. And Paraskos Coombe coming out wide, which allowing Prifty to perhaps play more of a central role in the last few minutes that remain. It's Coombe now on his left and has a strike. Coombe narrowly wide, the substitute almost making an immediate impact. And unfortunately Paraskos Coombe couldn't power home a finish there, but in the matter of seconds that he's entered the game, he's shown us what he can do immediately. Saeed going forward to Safari Makuju. We don't need to tell you what he can do. And the ball unfortunately drifted out of play, and to the perhaps lapse of focus by Makuju allows Hellenic to proceed forward. Prifty, Stefanidakis rolling it through for Coombe, and was there an offside position, and Paraskos Coombe just slightly overcooking his run allows the referee to blow for offside. And Radidas now to Jake Smith. Smith, nice ball back for Saeed. Pablo. Back to Saeed. Trying to go forward and to find Smith, but Pinto's there for Hellenic. Grifty. Stefanidakis. Saeed trying to get there ahead of Stefanidakis. Now it's Prifty having a shot, and that goes well over. And nothing but a goal kick. Of course, the Northern Territory government, many thanks to them for supporting football across the NT as well as McDonald's. Without them, would not be able to provide you this Live NT live streaming, of course, which is reaching your screens, whether you're viewing via Facebook or YouTube. It's Live FNT live streaming. And certainly round 3 of Men's Premier League has started off with a bang. If the rest of the weekend is anything like tonight's match thus far, you're in for some more entertainment tomorrow evening. Paraskos Coombe going across field back to Alex Turner, Jesse Pinto. Now it's Paraskos Coombe. Time on the ball, but his touch unfortunately let him down. And that'll go out of play for a throw-in to University Azzurri. Now it's Paredes, just gives possession away, but it ends up with Azuri again. Scott with a heavy touch to Matthew McNabb. Here comes the number 23, McNabb, tucks it away and completes his hat-trick. 3 of the best. He's made them pay, and that completes a wonderful hat-trick. Fantastic ball released by Keelan Scott, which allowed Matthew McNabb to march in, and he counts how many he has. That's 3 for the number 23. And now Hellenic hit the front for the first time this evening. With less than 15 minutes of regulation time to go, it's so far been the Matthew McNabb show. And now Azuri will need to atone and show us what they did in the first half. They're on the ball. Pablo immediately pressured there by Stefanidakis. Nearly loses out possession. Ultimately, Manucci clears. Safari Makuju. Heavy touch, but can continue the attack from Vrontos. Vrontos does well to win it against Makuju. Pinto. Good tackle by Matete. Carpathios to Pinto. And forcibly tried was Christian Makuju. Now it's Matthew McNabb, but cut out by Christian Makuju. Pinto, still Pinto, goes to ground on the touch by Moses Makuju, and that will be a free kick for Hellenic. Showing their experience and poise in this match to notice they were down, but they were not far away from ever overturning the deficit, and they eventually did. End of the night comes for George Carpathios. Fantastically done as well this evening, I must say. He earns a rest, and his replacement is going to be Samson Mashamanga, coming on to make an appearance, the number 11, and he has just over 10 minutes to operate. Also will be a substitute appearance for number 12 for University Azzurri, that is Espa Milk, and there's also Chaku Nicholas. Milk will be coming on for Matete, and Gabriel Pablo departs us for Nicholas. So teams now tapping into their reservoir of substitutes. A lot of heavy legs. Of course, the humidity still remains at a bit of a high as we approach the end of the tropical season here in the top end of Australia. The next few months are going to be a lot more comfortable for players and spectators alike. Pinto comes in with a delivery. Raditas heads away. Paraskos. Coombe tries to deliver it in. Raditas rises to no avail. Eventually cleared. Safari Makuju touches that down brilliantly. Space to operate now, the winger. Here comes Safari Makuju on a run and looking to release the ball. Jake Smith trying to get there ahead of Keelan Scott. Can't quite do so. Nicholas trying to provide some pressure. It's Mashamanga on the ball. Back to Stefanidakis, to Vrontos. Jeke. Jeke to Pinto. Ball goes under the midfielder, and good challenge by the two players there, but it's unfortunately Milk that gives the foul away. And so it is Hellenic that will win this free kick. And Hellenic will be on this free kick to take. It's Alex Turner on the ball. And earns a free kick, Espar Milk, for his talking there to the referee. Of course, plenty of support behind referees this season, and there's no room for retaliation or any chat back. Immediately earns you a yellow card. Turner now forward. Finds Prifty, back post Coombe, and that looks to be another goal. Paraskos Coombe turns that into the net. It's another goal. It's the 5th for Hellenic. They now add some breathing room, and it was a good ball from Alex Turner, and a flick on by Prifty, and it's another goal for Hellenic. And now with just under 10 minutes of regulation, it looks as though the Blues have come from nowhere to win this one. Still plenty of time though, of course, for anything to happen. Azuri certainly aren't out of this yet, but momentum all with Hellenic at the moment. And a substitution will be made. It'll be Foundi Beku to come onto the field. He will be replacing Andre Prifty. And now we'll see what the youngster can do in these final minutes or so. Now Azzurri on the ball. Paredes. Going forward, Nathaniel Paredes looking to find Moses Makuju. Turner gets there. Still Moses Makuju. And McAdam forced to make a challenge, but it was off Moses Makuju, and so it's nothing but a goal kick. Hellenic, of course, they have the quick turnaround. They're back in action next Friday against Mindelasis Football Club in the 8:30 Friday night football match. And, of course, University Azzurri are in action next Saturday against Darwin Olympic at 8 p.m. And that both those matches will be very exciting for the neutral. Jeke. Now it's given away there by Vrontos. Nicholas competing with Beku, Milk, and Stefanidakis. That's Pinto. He goes to McNabb. Now it's Matthew McNabb to Stefanidakis, looking to release Shamango. Good touch by Raditas, eventually for Saeed. Beku trying to get there ahead of Saeed, can't quite do so. Trying to play the ball wide is Saeed, does to Makuju, but not quite enterprising enough for Azuri that time. Now it's Beku Intercepted by Christian Makuju. Jake Smith is on a run here and not quite precise enough to find Smith. Makuju heads. Smith trying to play it on for Moses Makuju. Tegera Ejeke. Jesse Pinto. Going wide to Paraskos Coombe. Rontos. All the way back to Kane McAdam. To his captain, Alex Turner. Short to Stefanidakis. Stefanidakis all the way back to Hellenic. Playing a lot of possession football at the moment. Pinto releases wide. Paraskos Coombe heads back. Nicholas ahead there of Rontos. And so now it's Nicholas trying to release Safari Makuju. Thought he was impeded there, and so he is on the ball still. Kane McAdam just asking the question there. And looks to be a free kick. And also a substitute to enter the fray. Both teams looking to utilize further substitutes. It's Hellenic's number 15 on the side with us. That's Savas Trikilis. And also University Azzurri's number 9, Ikemsinachi Agbasi. Both ready to enter the field. So it will be Moses Makuju to be relieved of duties. He is exiting the field for Ikemsinachi Agbasi. And that will do us for the time being. McAdam just giving us a bit of a demo of his ball playing ability as we wait for the resumption of play. And trying to milk up as much of the clock as he can. Of course, his team do have a 2-goal advantage to conserve. Turner now forward for Hellenic. Looking to play Keelan Scott on the run. Christian Makuju will get there ahead of the left back. Peter Adidas back to Makuju, trying to play to Nathaniel Paredes, but Jesse Pinto's there. Paraskos Coombe. Time to operate and play it back to Vrontos. Agbasi looking to release Safari Makuju, and in comes the attacking player. And Safari Makuju bumped off the ball by Ejeke, and it will be a Azuri throw. Thrown early, won cleverly by Turner. Ahead of Nicholas, it's still Alex Turner. Going forward, looking for Paraskos Coombe and found Igbeku, but Radidas puts that forward, and Nicholas unfortunately can't keep it in. And now will be substitution time for Hellenic. And it'll be Stylianos Frontos to come from the field. He'll be departing us from the far end, and on in his place is number 15. That's Savas Trikilis. And as we approach the final few minutes of regulation time, it's Hellenic again on the North Crest scoreboard with that 2-0 advantage. 2-goal advantage rather, and they look to close the game out. It's Trikilis, the substitute, trying to play it forward for Matthew McNabb. And his cross is deflected by the Azzurri captain, and it'll be out for a corner kick. McNabb really trying to stamp his authority on his, you would think, man of the match performance. He certainly influenced the scoreline with his foot, and that's 3 goals that really are the difference tonight. And he's been ever present down that attacking wing. Coombe with this corner. Curling effort, looking for a Jeke. Radidas gets there well. Pinto gets there ahead of Safari Makuju. Coombe back to Pinto. Still Jesse Pinto. Trikilis trying to play a long ball through. It'll eventually find its way through Azzurri bodies. Saeed is there, needs to be clever, the defender. Beku's providing pressure. Now it's Paraskos. Coombe skips away from Nicholas, playing it to Mashamango. Touches back inside. Mashamango having a shot and gets there quickly and cleverly was Minucci. Kicking forward long and high. Turner perched under it, and he was pushed out of it by Bassi. And we approach the final few seconds of regulation time. You don't think there'd be too long left in regards to stoppages, but we'll see how long we get by the referee. Minucci gets there, quells the danger that time. Throwing it to Paredes. Paredes going forward to no one in advantage, and McAdam gets there. And he'll take the ball back into his box. Of course, he'll go back to Scott. Turner. Ajeke. To Mashamango. Pinto. Wide to Scott. Good ball play here by Hellenic. Looking to release Matthew McNabb. Radidas is getting there, and he'll see the ball out of play. And of course, you don't think there'd be too long left in this game. We've not received official confirmation of additional time, but a fair few minutes or so extra just to give both teams the opportunity to run this game out. A look at the watch by the referee. Hellenic will continue in the throw. Gone forward, Milk clears. And Agbassi getting there ahead of Scott. Still it comes to Nachi Agbassi, lying to release Safari Makuju, but his ball not quite good enough for the striker. Pinto will just calmly play the ball back to Alexander Turner. And Turner as well across field to Trikilis. Coombe. Coombe looking to release the substitute. Trikilis making a good run forward. Saeed trying to get there ahead of Trikilis, and the defender for Hellenic does well to keep the ball in his team's favour. Throws it forward for Beku. McNabb. Beku. Saved by Minucci. Cleared eventually by the Azuri. And now it's Milk trying to get out of defence. Mashamango wins it back. And it's Azuri now on the advantage. Saeed looking to clear forward for Agbassi. And can Agbassi release Makuju? And unfortunately, Agbassi's ball is behind Paredes. Pinto now. It's Jesse Pinto. Gets away from Smith. Jesse Pinto still the number 10 for Hellenic. Brought to ground, but now it's Founding Beku ahead of Saeed. Cleared by Nicholas, goes back into danger, eventually clears the ball. Now it's Nathaniel Paredes, pressured by Stephanodakis. Smith, short to Agbassi. Turner gets there to nullify that danger. And send Hellenic forward. No indication that the game is just yet, and Beku lets that go, looking for the instinctive run of Coombe, but he was nowhere near it. Eventually, they'll look to find him. Milk has it. Azuri now with an opportunity. Nicholas getting forward. On strides the player. Safari Makuju back to Nicholas. Looking to play middle for Agbassi and tackled under the ball. Advantage signaled by the referee. It's Milk. Takes it past Stefanidakis and looks to go wide. Nicholas is there. Going back centrally. Cut out by Hellenic again. Saeed, poor touch. Invites Coombe to win the ball and does. And that is offside, unfortunately. And advantage signaled by the referee. It's Hellenic back on the ball. Pinto going wide to Matthew McNabb, but the referee blows for a player to be down at the moment due to some cramp. We have now played 4 minutes past the regulation. And of course, it's still only round 3 in the season, so both teams are still getting their match fitness into peak where it should be. And you'd think this should bring us to the end of the game. Radidas over the free kick, launches forward. Rising as Paredes, Stefanidakis clears. Saeed, good touch, playing it forward, gets past Pinto. But now the captain, Alex Turner, comes out with possession. Masha Mango back to Scott, and the referee blows us to conclusion. And round 3, match 1 of the Men's Premier League has certainly got underway with a bang, and University Azzurri, recapping very quickly, went out to a 3-goal lead. They were pegged back 2. They had a 1-goal advantage at the break, 3-2 up, and Hellenic Athletic Club showing the viewers, those here locally and online, live on Facebook and YouTube, at what they're good at, and that's remaining in a match and coming back. They've stolen the 3 points tonight, so that'll take them and continue their undefeated run. Hellenic, 2 games, 2 wins. Azuri now fall to 1 game winning, and they've lost their other 2. So Friday night of Men's Premier League action comes to a conclusion. We will see you again tomorrow evening from 6 p.m. That is obviously Olympic and Casuarina doing battle, and the late game tomorrow is Hearts and Mindle. Until then, we bid you adieu, safe travels, and Saturday action tomorrow.